It's crazy how much can happen in a single year and how quickly we forget the moments that mattered the most. Wouldn't it be nice to look back at all your highlights in one beautiful montage? In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you how to turn everyday clips into a meaningful year in review video using Movavi Video Editor. And the best part, you can make these for anything worth remembering: a trip, a graduation, or an anniversary, whatever shaped your year. Okay, so first I'm gathering all of my 2025 clips, and I do really mean all of them, not just the perfect shots, even the ordinary ones. Those add depth and context, and by the end you'll see why this really matters. So inside of Movavi Video Editor, I'll click Add Files and select all the videos. I already made a folder with all the footage. And while that's loading, here's a common mistake I want to highlight. Many people start dragging clips into the timeline immediately with no plan. The timeline gets messy, people get overwhelmed, and the story starts to fall apart. There are a few ways in how you can approach this. You can go month by month, you can go fully cinematic, or you can make it dramatic, storytelling, and animation. What I'm doing here is mixing emotions with energy. I want this to feel like a highlight reel, but still tell it like a story. What I'm doing here is mixing emotions with energy. I want this to feel like a highlight reel, but still tell it like a story. I'll start the timeline with slower clips and then build momentum by adding small wins, fun moments, and quick lifestyle clips, and end with my biggest highlights like trips, celebrations, and events. The audio will also shape the mood, but first I want the story to flow. Now that the story structure is in place, I'm adding a bit of personality. And to do that, I'm jumping into the stickers tab and using a few stickers to highlight key moments. What I like about Movavi is that there are plenty of built-in stickers so that you do not have to hunt online. But I'm not using many, only what fits naturally. For example, for this clip right here, the 5-star sticker fits perfectly. I'm also not trying to add anything that's distracting. For other parts of the video, especially when the year shifts into a new phase, I'll use simple text style stickers as labels, and we can also sync it with the music. Here you will also need to pay attention to timing. I trim each sticker so it appears when the moment lands and disappears before it gets annoying. It's a small detail, but makes a big difference. By keeping the sticker use simple and intentional, the video starts to feel more expressive without feeling cluttered. Everything has a reason to be there, and the story stays front and center. And now it's time to give the video its final feel. And since this is a short 60 to 90 second highlight reel, I want it to feel fast, clean, and yet still cinematic. I'll open the Effects tab in Movavi and scroll through the available options. Of course, you can play around with different effects to see which one fits best, but knowing what you really want cuts out a lot of options. I'm not looking for dramatic effects, I want things that make the footage feel like a movie trailer. For my highlight clips, I'll start with a cinematic color effect. It slightly boosts contrast and sharpness so the clip feels more polished and more intentional. I'll drag it onto the clip and preview it to make sure it adds a punch without changing the colors too much. Yes, I think that's perfect. I'll also like this effect here, so let's try this one too and preview it. I think that's amazing. I'll go with this effect. After adding the effects, I'll open the adjustment settings and lower the intensity. Effects usually work best when they're subtle, so I'll make sure that they don't overpower the clip. I'll also keep the effects consistent. If I use a lot for my best moments, I'll stick to that same look across similar clips. This will help the whole video feel like one film instead of separate edits. By the end of this step, the video will feel more polished and complete. Each section will have its own mood, but everything will still feel connected. A little more adjustments and our year in review is ready. And to lean fully into that cinematic feel, you can add a voiceover to tell your story behind the moments, or just use trending audio instead. And this is what the final video looks like. What was just a bunch of random clips a few minutes ago is now our complete year in review video. You'll want to come back years from now to remember where you were, how you felt, and how far you've come. And the best part is how simple it was to put together. You don't need advanced editing skills or hours of work. Movavi makes the whole process fast and very easy. Now the final step, grab your best editing tools and effects at up to 80% off and start making warm and emotional videos this winter. Use the link in the description to download Movavi Video Editor, and I'll see you next time.